Hello and welcome to the No Logic Tournament. I'm Chex Human, and today we have a race between JDSilvergun and gabrieljcampos. So it's game 2 of their series. We are in the first week of the No Logic 2026 tournament, and we have seen lots of glitches. We have seen lots of fun ways to navigate the underworld. So a special shout out to the puzzle-themed layout designed by Malmo. This is a puzzle of the underworld map that we see in the background. And it's relevant because our runners will be navigating the underworld to get between dungeons, sequence break, go all over the place. And they are off. JD is starting at Link's house. Gabriel as well. Let's see where they start. So JD is taking advantage of a magic drop. Gabriel doesn't get it, but does get an unfortunate archer RNG. So JD is able to quickly check the island. Gabriel as well. All right. So JD is getting into a clipping position. Gabriel as well. And they are going to check Hobo first. Oftentimes we see a check starting from Hobo going to Ice Rod Cave. And that's done with a straight clip out of bounds into a fake flipper. They get the Hobo check, they fake flipper out. And then they will be doing a slope swim. And then, let's see. So JD, we saw them swim directly into the entrance. And they looked a bit high up, like almost above the doorway, but they were fine. Nice bonk to return to the entrance of the room. And then they just wiggle out with a little up input. And there we go. They're also getting, they are setting up a water walk. So we see JD just jumping down. Gabriel also setting it up. We saw him dash along the edge of the pit. And they will be checking the waterfall. Hey, a magic boomerang is in Waterfall Fairy. Kind of vanilla, but it's better than you expect from, let's say, an NMG Hundo run where you don't use it. In No Logic, we can use the boomerang to add a ton of sparkles to the screen, which may be useful. Okay. Nice hops from JD, hopping the ledge and over the fence to get the big key. Gabriel going for a separate clip. Let's see what kind of clip he'll be doing. He gets the same one. Very good. That was the big key of Turtle Rock, by the way, which can be pretty useful. I would say that's what tier would you give that big key? I'd say it's a B tier big key. We don't necessarily need keys. We can always find a way around having a big key or not having a big key. The big key isn't very useful unless you have Cane of Samaria. So it's kind of a dependent big key. TR is A tier, in Malmo's opinion. Okay. So there's a small key in Lost Woods. And it's a Skullwoods key. Not very useful. But it can be helpful for getting the dungeon done more quickly. A lot of small keys are kind of not worth getting. Oh, here we go. We're using the boomerang to pick up rupees. Very good. Okay, we've got a lumberjack check. We don't always see that in No Logic, but JD sees that it's trash. Just a piece of heart. Gabriel's spending 13 frames on each boomerang throw to maybe pick up a single rupee. Is it worth? Okay, so JD just did a lumberjack DMA, that is, and you know, that is ascending Death Mountain DMA, and we get this square green landscape, which is pretty nice looking. There's a shield that's dupable, but we're not going to dupe that. Anytime a runner finds an item in the map chest of Hera, it can be easily reclosed. So we can reclose chests by setting a flag from another screen, and in this case, it could be a death hole from the screen above. That will reclose the chest. In other words, duping its contents. With progressive items, it works to upgrade whatever's there. So it could be a bow that you want to dupe and turn it into silvers. It could be a sword upgrade. All right, JD's now navigating the old man cave, and we'll be rescuing the old man and Gabriel as well. It's important to get this checkpoint early because we saved to the mountain quite a bit. All right, so what's the next play? We've seen a lot of sync so far. The runners have made the same plays. JD, okay, so JD's probably doing a graveyard ledge DMD. So they will descend, nice, dash to the left after a couple of dash buffers, and then holding upright to transition to the graveyard ledge below. And a magic cape is inside. That's convenient. That's in the wrong cave. It moved. Oh no, Gabriel gets bouldered. All right, so descending Death Mountain, then falling into a pit takes us to Houlihan Room. So that's early money, which is pretty helpful because we might want to do something like buy a potion right away or buy a bomb upgrade right away. Bombs are overpowered in No Logic, so we might see a lot of bombs used later. Yeah, so JD is gonna go to South Shore. That's interesting because they have 6 bombs. And can they get through Mini Moldorm Cave with that amount of ammo? We shall see. And Gabriel cleanly picks up every rupee You love to see it. All right, JD will be going to Mini Moldorm Cave. Gabriel, okay, gets blocked by an archer. Always annoying. Oh, JD missed 1 bomb so far. 4 bombs, 4 Moldorms. Can we do it? Or do we just leave? No, we go back in. Okay, do we take damage? Yes, we do take damage. So, there we go. Can we do it? Yes, 1 bomb left, and all Moldorms cleared. A bottle is here. That's pretty useful. A bee is in the bottle. We could have used that. It would have been helpful. Okay, what's next? This is a bomb juke. JD's got to be careful here. They can only take 1 heart of damage. They did not get the juke, so they must save and quit or go on to the next play. They just ran out of health to retry the trick. Gabriel, similar issue. We are not getting a first try bomb on that middle Moldorm, but he has more bombs in store. JD releasing the bee in the overworld is kind of funny. All right, we learn of Skull Woods being green pendant. All right, Gabriel. Gabriel gets the juke, and he is showing us what's in King's Tomb. Just a piece of art. Not worth. But that's okay. We might see JD go back for that at some point. I don't know. Gabriel also releases the bee early. Interesting. So we're seeing JD perform a north teleport, and that takes them to the potion shop. So they'll buy a green potion. Green's a good one early. It's cheap and can be used in any subtile transition to potentially skip a screen in the underworld. Can take us 1 full puzzle piece forward. Okay, this is cool. Next for them is, it looks like, they're gonna go to King's Tomb. This is a King's Tomb play. They jump into the bushes. They get into King's Tomb. Very good. All right, so next is Potion Shop for Gabriel. And there we go. So that's it's a pretty tricky teleport upward. Oh, Gabriel almost wedges himself in a crevice. Okay, we're good. Teleports are a matter of bad math that relates to how the game pushes Link out of collision, and it just performs some sort of mysterious calculation. I'm not sure if anyone has been able to explain it, and people are currently looking into it for fun in the game's code. Okay, next play for JD is Kakariko, and they have no bombs, which is not great. Maybe they'll get lucky in the next 5 checks. A power glove is here. That's pretty nice. For me, there's something called the glove rule. If you find the glove, just check back of escape. We'll see if that happens. Our runners have found the big key of Dark Palace. So, JD has that. Oh no, the bee is going after the chicken. Rude bee. Yeah, the Dark Palace key is really good because it unlocks Cave State, which we might see. Cave state is any cave, but we can go from a cave into a dungeon and loot it. So what else have we seen so far? We've seen the Quake medallion in Kakariko. We don't know if these medallions are helpful yet. The flute's here, so we'll probably see a flute activation. And flute's really helpful for getting to the potion shop. Hey, there's a bottle at the bottle vendor. Okay, can we activate the flute? What is happening? Okay, Gabriel got it. Yeah, we can talk about cave state later, but essentially we can go anywhere in the underworld. But when we do that, we maintain the state of the place that we entered from. So, caves are interesting because they don't drop prizes, so we can't get the prize of the dungeon by staying in that state. More on this later. We'll probably see a cave state from both runners. Alright, we can turn in our bottle. It's just 20 rupees. Another chicken reveal. Thank you, JD. Love this sync. Runners doing all the same plays. It's crazy to me. But it makes sense. The world is flat, basically. And the key is to go for density. A lot of your early finds are not going to make a difference in what you do. So if you have a pattern, you'll probably repeat it. Okay. Big key of Misery Mire. Another big key that is on the average side, although it's an S tier key for Doom Tap. So we don't know how useful this key will be. All right. Mild desync, or yeah, a little bit of a split of paths. JD is going to check what's in the grove. It's nothing. Gabriel is taking a death to a Beamos. What was the purpose of that? I'm not quite sure. It's a save. It's a health refill. I'm not sure what the purpose of it was. Yeah, so JD, unsurprisingly, is returning to the desert area, although they will check K45 first. Just health. Gabriel continuing in desert is now going to use a YBA. That's Yuzuharu's Bottle Adventure. And this green potion used in a subtile transition like this will take us one full screen forward. And he is now in Thieves Town. And this is Desert State Thieves Town. So, I don't know. Actually, I'm pretty sure how far we'll go in this dungeon. We're only going to see one more screen. And I'm pretty sure that Gabriel will just show us, hey, there's a bottle and a Gina. So that's 3 bottles so far. Okay, very worth to get an early check of this place. But the main point of coming here is to get a skip of the attic, so we don't have to go loop around. What is going on here? Gabriel skipped a chest. That seems like an accident. That's really odd. we're pretty likely to see JD do the same thing. There's a lot of value in not only getting the attic skip, but also checking the right side of desert to kind of just clear it out. All right, so he's seeing an upward teleport for Gabriel. So now he's able to do the area checks. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's right. So when you skip a chest, you might want to use it to dupe another chest. And so that's Mr. Byers' guess, to preserve a dupe potential. In other words, we can copy the closed state of that chest into the screen above it, for example, which will create a sword upgrade for us. I don't know how that is possible exactly in this scenario. But we'll see. We'll see what JD does with it. So JD's thinking, how can I use that? How can I upgrade that? Can I use my red potion? JD's thinking about it. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. That Gabriel left that chest closed. JD might help explain it with whatever they do. Okay, green potion refill for Gabriel, as well as for his other empty bottle, and maybe his third as well. I like that. Gabriel loves green. Okay, JD doesn't care about that chest, so they are opening it. They just find a heart. All right, and this play is over for both of our runners. They're pretty well in sync, making the same plays. Well, Gabriel's returning to desert. So there might be some shenanigans with the sword, maybe. I'm not really sure. All right, what's next for JD? They will be getting whatever's on Highlight Island. All right, it's just some health. Okay. This is fine. They can flute away. It's like not that bad to hop around the overworld with flute active. So what's next for JD? Will they be perhaps going to Death Mountain? Okay, Gabriel, what is going on here? We're going to see something interesting, and I'm not sure what it is. I see. So Gabriel, yes. So this tile that Gabriel's on is on the same tile as the unfortunate death that was not intended. This tile that Gabriel's on is on the same tile as the closed chest. The chest he left closed. So that's what he'll use. He'll use that doorway to... Okay, I see what the problem is. This is the this room. I did not expect to see this room 2 times. Yeah, so what's happening here is Gabriel is going to use his potion to YBA. Holy. I did not realize that Spin YBA would take him to Uncle. That's really interesting. That's different. That is different. I did not expect that. I'm like a little bit speechless. I wasn't even sure that a Spin YBA would work on a... Did I know that? I guess I did know that. Never mind. Yeah, it just works. So basically, a spin combined with a YBA adds another tile, another super tile. You know, it allows the runner to go 3 puzzle pieces up the screen. And it should move the close state of the big key chest to the attic. So now Gabriel is returning. And so we'll see him reopen that chest and get Master Sword. Meanwhile, JD is going to backup escape. Nothing very useful there. I think I saw an Agate Tower small, which allows JD to clear Agate Tower, perhaps, of its 2 chests. All right, here it is, the Master Sword. So Gabriel can damage Ganon now, so that's positive. And Gabriel can now check this chest. It's a hard container. Woohoo! So that was pretty cool. I did not expect that spin YBA. So another option that Gabriel had was to use a red potion. And that would be a super tile YBA. And there's potential of using that and maybe going directly to the attic. I don't know if that's possible, given the walls in an attic. But instead, Gabriel used a spin YBA, which kept them in the underworld, allowing them to do another check. Another option was to use a green potion with no spin, and that would have taken Gabriel to Plaid World, which is not legal to explore in No Logic, but it is legal to just go there and use it for a dupe and then end the play. It looked like Bombos was in a big chest of Pals of Darkness. I have not explained Cave State. So here we are. As mentioned earlier, we're exploring a dungeon in Cave State. And there are no enemies because of the map wrap performed when navigating from the bottom of the puzzle and taking Link to the top of it. And okay, by the way, Gabriel found the Hera Small in Spiral Cave. JD has that as well, but I didn't notice. So that's probably the best small key in the game, because we can use it to unlock Swamp Palace. One of the best. Anyway. Oh, Ether was here. Okay, so our runners just have all medallions. At least JD does. Gabriel has only 2 medallions. Oh, what's going on in Pod? It looks like JD found Fire Rod just now, or earlier when I was talking. Yeah, so Pod is a pretty dense location. Like I said, you want to find density first. There's 14 checks here. There's a couple of different ways to navigate it, depending on what you want to do after. You could go to Hookshot Cave from here. You could reload the dungeon. You could do right side with no enemies, so you don't have to be blocked by mimics. Yeah, so JD is blowing up the right side bomb wall that goes to the fairy room. It's a doorway we'll be using to skip into Hookshot Cave, and they'll be using a bomb juke. It's an auto door bomb juke, so it's not super easy. They need to pick up a bomb 1 frame after tapping right A, you know, quickly. But they didn't get the timing right away, so they will refill a couple of bombs. Gabriel is following right behind the same play. Okay, that looked good. So JD got the juke, and when they transition to the left, it's a big transition, and they are able to hop some ledges in Beetle Arena, and they left big key for this moment. Then they can loop around. And when they transition to the right, they'll end up in Hookshot Cave. JD is opening the top fairy room, the big fairy room. So they might be using a YBA in that doorway. We'll see. I would be a little bit surprised if they use that doorway. Although they do have a sword, so it would just be a long fight if they fight Water Armos, which is a Ganon's Tower boss that we might be fighting. We'll see. Okay, so by the way, JD has left Hookshot Cave, and they are still in the light world because they never entered the dark world through a mirror transition or a portal transition. That is. So they are still Link, or Celeste in this instance. And they're able to do these checks on the screen. But it is light world, so the game will correct the screen once they transition up, down, left, or right. But they're not going to do that. They're going to go back into the underworld. Okay, we are going to use this subtile. No, we are running away from it. We are going to use the super tile transition. So yeah, what is happening is we can skip this next screen by doing a super tile YBA here. But when we get to Ganon's Tower, there won't be any sprites. JD also needs to navigate this invisible walkway, which is a bit scary because if they fall, it is, I believe, a wrong warp that goes to glitch jail. Not sure. But they can loot Ganon's Tower now. There's no sprites, so we can't get very far in it. You need sprites in Ganon's Tower to navigate it because we need to hit switches and stuff like that. There's still a bunch of checks here we can do. We can also reload from the entrance if we want to. I'm not above casting ether in here. Good point, Malmo. If we cast ether, which we have, we can see the walkway. There's another opportunity JD has here, and this is a good one. Here's my advice. Why don't we light that torch before doing this YBA? Because look where JD has ended up. They are taking their time to get through this invisible walkway. Very well done. We can light the torch before doing that YBA if we want to. Because lighting the torch, if you don't know, shows the walkway. So JD is in pod following in JD's footsteps, but might not go to Ganon's Tower. In fact, he's reloading the dungeon, which means he's reloading the sprites and giving the dungeon ID of pod, which means we could potentially get a crystal here, and that's what Gabriel is going for, because we're seeing him do the statue drag. So anyway, this goes to Helmasaur King. Oh, I didn't see what JD found on the torch. Sprites are despawned, so we can't... They're not really despawned, they're just desynced. So we can't get what's on the torch until we reload the dungeon. Okay, Gabriel did a bunch of screen transitions and is now at Helma. A bunch of broken transitions. I'm not able to really explain it. He needs to use bombs without the use of the hammer. Oh, it's a bow! Okay, nice. That's interesting. I wonder if JD would like to dupe that, or has any opportunity to dupe it. Anyway, for now, JD will be using a bomb juke to juke this transition. And then when they hit it from the other side, they'll skip the next screen. And hey, powder's on Helma. Okay, so JD is navigating the hookshot room. The room with a bunch of pits. It's to the left of what the camera is showing right now. And so they'll use a bomb jump. Very well done. And this looks a bit confusing because this screen, which is on right side GT, shares a space with the 4 chest room, DM room. Not sure if we got anything useful there, but nice to have a bow. Okay, Gabriel's doing something new here. This is a quadrant glitch. And so Gabriel just tinked an enemy and spun his sword. And for anyone who's played Rando before, you know that's probably a bad thing to do. We really don't want to use a spin going across the center of a tile. But yes, we actually do want to do it because we're playing no logic and using glitches. And we see that that unlocks the camera here. We can get through this room. In fact, yeah, it's an easy way to get through that room. Gabriel, okay, what did he do here? Did he? Yeah, okay, this is interesting. Let's see what he does here. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure why he's leaving. This could be interesting though. He's got something cooking. Yeah, it's another quadrant glitch. So what I missed before is that he actually did 2 quadrant glitches, and that sort of like corrected the transitions a little in a way. And now he's doing another one, but instead of a horizontal one, it's a vertical one. And he's doing multiple quadrant glitches here. This does something related to getting him to Ganon's tower, which is pretty cool. He won't have to use a potion like JD did. Meanwhile, JD went from Uncle to Thieves Town. This is a familiar path. Okay, let's take a look at how Gabriel's getting through here. This is a little bit different for me. I'm less familiar with this path. But yeah, they're not checking Hookshot Cave and can skip straight into Ice Armos first. Alright, so Gabriel is able to return to Hookshot Cave. And yeah, he's able to check these items now. Hey, the lamp is at blind. That's valuable. We can use that. later, potentially. Yeah, the exit works as an exit. So Gabriel's able to leave into Dark Death Mountain, just like JD was. Yeah, pretty interesting concept here. Gabriel probably won't go back. Oh, he's going back for something. I've never seen anyone else attempt this. Yeah, this is a route developed by Mr. Fire. And the interesting thing is, Mr. Fire also came up with the double turtle power quadrant glitch. The one I mentioned before that breaks quadrant glitch and then fixes it. But that, by the way, allowed Gabriel to transition west for an additional check. JD has left Thieves Town and can check VOO. Again, if they transition, they go to Light World screens because they're still in Light World. No one has gone into the Dark World yet. And Gabriel's taking a quick trip into T-Rock. Looked like he took advantage of his big key. I missed Fire Rod again. I know that was in pod. I have to assume anyway. Runners also have powder from Helma. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. God, too bright. JD used LSD blind to keep the door open earlier, and they're able to leave in cave state. There's no prize of cave state, and they want to reload the dungeon to get the thieves prize. So they were able to just fight blind, leave the room, reload the dungeon. All right, what's that Chomps? Gabriel's gone through a lot of work to get here. Can we get here? Yes, we can. We have Cape. Okay, Gabriel going down. This is good. Let's do it. Sure, we have no Samaria, but let's continue on anyway. How are we going to do it? Do we have a red potion? No, we're leaving. Yes, we're going back. Okay, transitioning JD. Okay. Yeah, this one, it's another super tile YBA. Uh-oh, we saw a health refill. That's not good. Uh-oh, we saw another one. Gabriel. Unfortunate. Oh well. So what happened was Gabriel drank the potion. That means he pressed Y earlier than he input a down. He really wanted those to be on the same frame. That's okay. He made quite a bit of progress. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I thought JD found the 4th bottle. So we have all the bottles. And Gabriel's just gonna use the powder as intended. We'll see what's that magic bat. Okay, here it is, the Dark World. Do we have any maps? And Gabriel now finds out that desert is a pendant. Or at least I find it out by looking at his map. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It's going to be a YBA in the well. Do you know where this takes us? It takes us to Ice Palace. And it's carpeted. How nice. But again, we're in cave state. Being in cave state here doesn't really help us. We're going to reload the dungeon. One thing I didn't say was we were able to check all of pod without any keys because reasons. And we don't need to really worry about that in Ice Palace because we'll probably, if we're going to be here, we're probably just going to go to the boss. All right, what is JD doing? JD is using a blue potion on a screen edge in the overworld. This is going to be a fake flute. If they drank the potion by accident, they'll try again. That was a hard reset. In other words, they will keep their blue potion and try again. Or at least keep their potion. That much we know. Eat. JD does a screen wrap and a hop that takes them into Kiki Skip Cave, the bottom of Spectacle Rock. Again, this is the way that we get to pod. I didn't really talk about that, but that's the way. Why is JD coming back here? Well, I bet it's to fight the boss. I'm not really sure. They also have the option of going to Hera. That's something we see frequently. They are reloading. And Gabriel is reloading Ice Palace as expected. So they are getting through Ice Palace bomb jump. He doesn't have cane, so he's going this way. JD is arming statue drag, right? Not sure what just happened. Yeah. Anyway, they are. They might have needed resources or something. We see them get up to 10 bombs now. And yeah, they are waiting at the anti-fairy. Did we see Gabriel do this? Yeah, I guess we saw him do this. Yeah, so getting hit while dragging a statue allows Link to maintain a statue drag state. So Link can just press A somewhere and start a fake statue drag. And we're going to use that to juke a transition, which is here. It's one of the only ways to juke a north transition, which makes statue drag extra useful. Not sure I've seen anything. I'm not very good, by the way, at seeing what's in chest contents in a race, so feel free to shout things out, but don't shout out part pieces and stuff. I just haven't seen anything in Ice Palace yet. Alright, Gabriel is... looks like 3 fire rod shots down. Not sure what his route will be to recover magic. Shouldn't be too bad, though. Oh, and maybe he needs to check Ice Tea Room. Ooh, look at this. JD has something weird going on with bombs. Oh, I didn't realize this. Can the boomerang do this? Oh. Okay. What JD's going for is a perpetual bomb. It's going to be a mislotted bomb, also known as murder bomb. And what it will do is it will continue doing damage while it's on screen. But, okay, that's not good. They don't quite get it. So, they... Oh, wait, the mask broke. I was worried about nothing. Okay, perfect. Helma's down. And the fight is over. There's powder for JD. And our Final Fantasy fanfare. Okay, boss fight coming up for Gabriel. So it's a Master Sword fight with Cold Stare. Look at that. We're duping Fire Rod shots. That's a good solution. He even gets to use an extra Fire Rod shot on Cold Stare, maybe a second one. But he'll continue spinning. There we go. Cold Stare's down. All right, here we go. JD's going to Hera. Hook shot. What a play. Ice Palace is the play because hook shot is at Cold Stare. All right, JD is peeking out of the door. This corrects the camera in a way. And they can wrong warp to Hera. Yeah, they're in Hera. Nothing else to say there. Mushroom is here. Hey, Gabriel's in Hera now. Yeah, so he's able to use hookshot. That's quite convenient. Getting to Hera via a YBA is a bit time consuming. But it's not so bad if you have a ton of bottles like JD does. Oh, and by the way, they are in a pod state. So they're able to use their pod big key to unlock Hera. Gabriel's catching fairies. Why? I don't know. Do they have... Okay, he doesn't have lamp. So that's pretty interesting. It could be a index setting. And by the way, Mushroom, his next check. Mushroom's also an index setting item. It needs to be used in conjunction with other items to get a fake powder for that to happen, however. Okay. But yeah, Gabriel catching fairies. Taking a death will allow an index setting as well. But having mushroom and fairies, these are two of the weakest items for setting index. And I'm talking about setting index like everyone knows what it is. But what I'm talking about is a way of setting up for miss slots, which are a very powerful category of glitches that we might see soon. They allow us to use hook pushing, which manipulates where hookshot takes us. And it can do other things as well, like overworld conveyor, which takes us to a lot of different places. A few different places. All right, Moldorm's down for JD. Wow, the ice play was pretty big. I wonder what compelled compelled Gabriel to go here. Because when I have Fire Rod, my brain just says, go to Mothula. It's clear Skull Woods. That's like a whole dungeon that we can do. Oh, hey, look at this. Gabriel's able to set index using a boom dash. Oh yeah, that's right. Skullwoods' green pendant. JD just reminded me. All right, so this is something I didn't mention earlier. I did mention it, excuse me. But if you use a YBA in this deep door, in Uncle Passage, you will be taken to Thieves Town in Cave State. And by the way, JD is performing an overworld conveyor, so there's our first miss lot of successfully. Our first successful miss slot. I want to mention that the perpetual bomb JD was trying was also a miss slot. But we didn't get to see the full effect of it. Oh wait, Gabriel has a hammer. Where was that? And Samaria was in Thieves Town Big Chest. How lucky is that? I did not see that hammer. But yeah, having hammer is pretty important for getting to that big chest. There are ways to get to that big chest without the use of a hammer, but we never see that in races. All right, JD having a think. And we get to see all 4 bottles in their inventory, complete with 3 separate potions. And there is lamp for Gabriel. So yeah, powder was how Gabriel was setting index. He also had fairies, he also has a mushroom. But now he has lamp. Lamp sets index much more easily. Should we talk about setting index? Yeah, let's talk about it while runners are repeating some of their checks. So as I mentioned, runners can use index setting to set up miss slots. And what I mean by index is just the ancilla index, the routine that allows the game to understand what to do with arrows as you shoot them into the wall. Because as you shoot more arrows, the game needs to despawn them in some order. For some reason, when you have a lamp flame in slot 2, that's one of our 5 slots where we can put Link's things. Slot 2, for some reason, sets the index wrong. It goes too high. And it sets the index into something that's like 10 or something. And what that means is the next it has the potential to put Link's things into a back slot where the sparkles normally go. And when ancilla are placed in these slots, the game plays by different rules, basically. I think that's the only way I can explain it. Okay. Through all this explanation, I missed JD's route into Eastern. So what they did was a Stairmaster, which was using a bottle in a stairwell, basically. This is a very recent major glitch. And it was allowed in restricted major glitches, and we can use it in no logic randomizer. Its legality is sort of like separate in rando and the vanilla game, because it's a bit unusual. So yeah, JD was able to use diagonal stairs with the use of Stairmaster, and it allowed them to take a transition into Eastern Palace. They are also continuing in cave state. Being in cave state here allows them to open more chests, because they have the big key. I never explained that, but that's okay. They have a big key for cave state, and they are now continuing into Mire with the use of OIBA. So they can use their big key and continue opening chests. Okay, Gabriel is using full power of hook pushing. Here, he can go directly from the lobby to Armos Knights. And there you go. So Gabriel is able to navigate through the seed pretty quickly now, but he doesn't have Ice Rod. I don't know if that's necessary or not. Looks like JD knows that it's a crystal turtle rock. I didn't realize that. Yeah, without the... Oh, wow, mirrors here. It's pretty nice. Oh, it's a pendant. We don't care. But nice mirror check. Or nice mirror reward. Gabriel is doing a juke that will place him on the catwalk, and then he can check a big key chest. JD continuing through Mire and Cave State. For anyone just joining us, JD entered Spectacle Rock, then used the Stairmaster to get to Eastern Palace, then used the Subtile YBA to get to Mire. And then they're just looking for items. Gabriel also continuing to look for items. He just loaded Eastern Palace and can hook push with the use of the hook shot that he found at Cold Stare. In addition to the cane, which is at Thieves' big chest. A bow is on right side Eastern, which is really convenient. We might see that used. Okay, JD is exiting Mire. By the way, they can use Ether because they have Link State, and they have Link State because they're still in the Light World. Again, we did not travel to Dark World, so we're not a bunny. Okay, what is JD gonna do here? JD's gonna go to Mire, and they're going to get a stuck hook. There we go. We see a mislotted hook and then followed up by a front slot hook. They're going to release it now by overloading Ancilla and then just releasing the hook shot. So that kind of hook push is called a stuck push. Yeah, Gabriel has all the medallions as well. They're digging for some reason, and I'm not sure. Okay, JD's transitioning. That takes them to Light World. What's next for JD? They have the book. So Gabriel has a big advantage having the hook shot, but it's anyone's race. The important thing is to get the ice rod. I'm not sure if Gabriel knows about that, but it is tracked. We are joined in this race with the help of Mr. Beyer as our tracker. So thank you, Mr. Beyer, for that. Helps us understand what the runners are trying to do. Okay, is Gabriel farming? Okay, what is JD doing? JD found the mitts somewhere. I did not catch that. They can do a downward teleport, which just allows them to get to the portal. There, bunny. We do see some more crystals. Okay. So they do see that swamp and ice are crystals, it appears. What pendants do we know about? Oh yeah, desert dependent skull. And is there a third one? Oh, that's right. Gabriel found one. So Gabriel knows. Gabriel knows what the prizes are, I suppose. So I guess Gabriel has the most info. Alright, JD is having some shopping consumer decisions here in the potion shop. Gabriel going for cutscene chest. Interesting. Gabriel could get through a lot of this game with the items he has. So he doesn't really need to check every chest. There are 2 ice rods in the game. So if one were to skip a slow check, one might choose to skip a cutscene chest. Gabriel's not going to do that. And I like his philosophy of full clearing the dungeon. Without the use of Moon Pearl, it's pretty hard to get back to Mire. He also doesn't have the mitts. So since he's here, why not just clear the whole thing? Okay, JD is finally loading Eastern from its entrance. So JD will look for the prize here. We saw when JD used Stairmaster, they went through the dungeon from the middle and unlocked the big key door. So they don't need the big key to get through this. So the rest of this dungeon can be completed NMG. They will get silvers here, won't they? Yep, that's nice. So the issue is it's not new info, and it's a pendant. So it's going to be a lack of progress. No ice rod. So that's going to be a little bit painful for JD. It's going to be hard for them to get back in the game. Gabriel is continuing on in Mire and will be fighting Vitreous. Wow, this music has some whooshing sound effects. Oh, that surprised me. I am slightly surprised that Gabriel is going through the basement because we can take shortcuts in Mire to, with the use of hook pushing. But it is performed. Yeah, there's a couple of different ways. One of them is to go to Fishbone Room, which is always fun to see. But he's not going to do that. It's a really difficult room to hook push in, so it's understandable to not go for that. Oh, here we go. Gabriel has just misslotted a bomb. Let's see if he can maintain it. Yeah, and so he's using the hook shot to extend the timer of the bomb. He gets a perpetual bomb blast that will eventually take out the eyeballs. Some of them are out of range, so he'll just use arrows and sword for the rest. JD now going for the bomb juke in Eastern. Yeah, Vitreous is down for Gabriel, so he has another prize. That was great. Glad we got to see a successful murder bomb. Gabriel is now a cat. Okay, he's a cat again. Forgot about that. Okay. So he'll continue checking Desert Overworld. Yeah, he just needs to do dungeons and find Ice Rod. So how is he going to do that? Swamp is available, but he doesn't have flippers. Is he really going to check Swamp for items? I don't know. He's going back up to Desert. This tells me perhaps it's a Swamp check. Perhaps he'll fight Argus. JD will take a death to return to Link state. That's called Dungeon Bunny Revival, basically. Yeah, so Gabriel is taking damage here. We know this BMOS. We've taken damage from it before. But he needs to, in this case, fall into a pit and die on the same frame. There's a special setup for that. And we need to create a pit with the use of Samaria. Ooh, taking out this guy is smart. I've never done that. But yeah, that makes the dash much safer. Because, okay, Gabriel just created a bunch of invisible pits. We cannot see them, but he needs to do a bonk to get across for a setup here. He'll be placing a bomb and dashing at the same time, then slashing. And that's a good setup for this death hole. So there we go. He gets a fairy revive and is placed at the top edge of the screen. Then he needs to navigate some pits, and then a transition to the right takes him to Argus. There it is. There's also some numbers and letters on the screen. Don't worry about it. And he's able to scroll Argus off the top of the screen, which gets Argus into phase 2. Pretty fast way to deal with Argus, especially without the use of Tempered Sword or higher. Yeah, so Argus is down. Oh, look at this! Oh, it's a pendant fanfare skip attempt, but he didn't get it. We get the pendant fanfare. The pendant here serves a purpose. It's gonna take him to the front of Swamp, because that's what the collecting the prize of the boss room does. This is a good situation for Gabriel because he'll just dupe the prize, but it's also a bad situation. Okay. Well, it's not a bad situation. But it's not what Gabriel wanted to do. So basically he's attempting to go to Hera to dupe the prize. JD's now fighting Vitreous. I didn't mention it, but he needed to use 2 YBAs, one West YBA and one Spin YBA, to go from Mire to Aga Tower to Vitreous. And with the help of Silver Arrows, it's a fast fight. Okay, Gabriel has passed the Terminator that had stopped him earlier and is able to launch all the way to Hera. He can even check the big chest, which he wasn't able to do before. But yeah, the camera doesn't scroll with him, but he doesn't need it. He can get to the stairs on his own. And he is able to dash through a bumper that does not load, and so there is no bumper to dash through. And so he can just dash easily to the right side of the screen. Do we want that crystal? What's wrong with that? Okay, he wanted to set index. Not sure why that was important, but yeah, it is an ancilla. So instead of placing 3 lamp flames, he just placed 2, I guess. Okay. Oh. Alright, so Gabriel's gonna clear this dungeon, isn't he? There's another item remaining in Hera, and that is basement. And Gabriel's able to get a quick slot 9 block, and then... Oh! They're not comfortable with that. Oh! Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. The position was wrong. Gabriel needed needed to start on the left. Okay. Got it. So the sword beam sets a very long distance to the right. So Gabriel almost started from a position that would take him past the chest all the way to the next tile. So he repositioned to get get placed in the room with the chest in it. And JD's in Ice Palace. This is good. I think this will give JD a kit to match Gabriel. But I'm wondering if it's starting to become too late. It depends on... It just depends on where Ice Rod is. Gabriel is now in Ganon's tower, and he has the advantage of Hammer. If anyone knows where Hammer was, feel free to shout it out. And with Hammer, Gabriel can check left side GT easily. Byers says TR lava chest. Yeah, Gabriel took that trip into T-Rock, and I didn't see that. So that's quite good. Yeah, in retrospect, having that hammer, which I didn't notice, and I should have, having the hammer allowed Gabriel to get to Cold Stare quite easily. So that added an incentive. To go there early. Okay, Gabriel is not gonna miss anything. Going for tile room first. And then right side GT. And JD was able to check big chest. Was Gabriel able to check big chest? No, that's a sword. That's really good. That's something I didn't notice before. Alright, right side of GT has 2 big keys at least. Okay. Gabriel now going to right side will check some things that JD did not. Rather, he'll get the key and then continue on left side. Oh, what I meant to say was that JD already checked some of left side. Oh yeah, that's where the first bow was for JD. And that's the torch. That's Gabriel's second bow. Okay, JD without the use of the hammer will be using a spin YBA to get to Cold Stare. And they need to find a hole. There it is, Tam Slam. They bonk into a hole. And they have a rhythm to deal with using bombos to deal with the ice blocks. There we go. That's quite convenient. So JD saves some time over Gabriel by not duping that sword. And finding another one just on their path. So that's quite nice. So that's some nice time recovered for JD. They don't know about that, but it's just something that is perhaps part of each runner's total time in the end. Yeah, Cold Stare is down. JD is now making another play. Yeah. Okay, another thing is that Gabriel has the advantage of oh, there's Mitts. Okay, Mitts were in Rando Room. Gabriel has the advantage of Samaria, which is a big deal because we saw how easily Gabriel was able to get to a swamp. And I don't know how fast JD can do swamp. It's gonna be slower, unfortunately. There's basically no way JD will get back to these big chests to have Samaria in this seed. So that's gone forever. Again, Ice Rod will make all the difference. It's quite an Ice Rod hunt. I mean, we're looking for a rod for go mode, basically. And we have been. Both runners have been for quite some time. JD really is just now on the rod hunt. Before they wanted a sword. All right, JD is now setting a stuck hook. This will take him to Turtle Rock. Yeah, nicely done. We saw the use of up left boomerang throw. And yeah, he's taking Laser Bridge, so that's got to be where Ice Rod is, right? Okay, JD performed a fake flute and touches a pull statue to get a quick check of Hype Cave. Oh, Gabriel's leaving. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe he already checked the rest of Turtle Rock, or at least the middle of it. So it's not gonna check the front that way. All right, there's Tempered for JD. That play's done. Okay, Gabriel is descending. Where are we? Ah, yes. Okay. They wrapped the screen and placed a mirror portal, and so that doesn't place a mirror portal where Gabriel is standing. Excuse me. It misplaces the mirror portal. It places a portal according to Link's global coordinates, which the global coordinates are set by sort of the direction that Link goes. And the screen wrap sends the coordinates farther south. So when we place a mirror portal, it's placed way lower or way further south on the map. So we can enter that mirror portal to clip into Pyramid Fairy. And it looked like that was tempered for Gabriel, so that means we found all the swords. JD has not found that one. And Gabriel has not found the Hype Cave sword or the Ice Palace big chest. But he did dupe his first sword, which was in Desert Palace. Okay, escape play. We have not seen front of escape from our runners yet, so this could be a thing. Okay, JD is now going to Argus, it appears. Gabriel's setting index, which is interesting. A push can be used to get to Vitreous, but he's already defeated Vitreous. I'm not sure why he's setting index here specifically. Okay, JD is using a double YBA to get to Swamp. He does it. So they are now in Swamp. They're not going to be able to get to Argus that easily. In fact, if they go this way, they're not going to be able to get to Argus. They're just going to check some chests, which is a good idea. There's still waterfall chests remaining. And then the end of Gabriel's play is coming up. Just a piece of heart. Did they check Dark Cross? Okay. JD says no to all that stuff and is just gonna do a reset. What is going on? Okay, Gabriel's doing something that I've never seen before. I cannot think of what is where he's going. This is great. This is right push. Ah, okay. It's Desert Big Chest. Oh, that's nothing. That was crazy. I've never seen anyone do that. I loved it. Very cool. So that's a pretty cool way to check that Desert Big Chest. If we're in escape, we're always gonna get the big key. And JD is taking damage from the Dactyl. What are they gonna do here? Nothing in Dark Cross. I missed the map chest skip. Oh, that was it. Oh, okay, so that's peculiar. I don't know why the chest was skipped. Although I wonder if he went for item get distance. Uh-oh. Okay. JD is going for YBA. Could this be? I'm not certain where this is gonna take them. I do know. I don't know. Oh, mushroom leads to bombs. We don't care about that. It's interesting Gabriel doesn't even pick them up. Okay, yeah, this is the thing. JD is going to Argus. So they are doing a no VRAM, no flippers method to get to Argus. This is not easy. This requires the use of a blue potion and a juke that we are seeing. I don't know the exact steps. So this is really great to see. Let's see what's next. Is it a... Okay, it's just a transition. Then, okay, they need to correct the camera and they'll use another potion. All right, Gabriel, meanwhile, transitioning to the right. It's a rightward hook push. Nice desert or Go Woods play. That's interesting. A fast way to get to Skull Woods. Okay, so JD must have pulled off the YBA that they wanted. Now what's gonna happen? This is a lot of steps. Oh, this is a death hole, huh? Okay. Okay, the last second map check. Love that. That map input keeps us, it keeps the palette, basically. Nice! They've transitioned to Argus. I would feel pretty good about that if I were JD. That's a lot of steps. Alright. They don't have hookshot, so they need to scroll Argus off the screen. I thought that would scroll Argus off. Meanwhile, Gabriel used North's STC as Samaria transition corruption to skip a room. That put a lot of junk on the screen, which is kind of funny. Looks like some half zeros and half backwards R's or something. I don't know. The way the junk on the screen interacts with layers is funny. Okay, very cool outcome for JD. Very cool path to Argus. So yeah, JD was able to check Swamp and then go for Argus. Although maybe those swamp checks were reset. I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, Gabriel is in Skull Woods and finds the wrong rod. In fact, a vanilla fire rod. So there. Oh, I forgot to mention this is double rods, by the way. So there are 2 of each rod. I guess I did mention there are 2 ice rods that the runners could find. Yeah, so Skull Woods, it has a bunch of checks, so it has a pretty good chance of having the ice rod at this point, since we've seen so many other dungeons. We've seen every other dungeon. So is this going to be the dungeon with one of the ice rods? No. However, we haven't turned a green pendant yet. Wow, JD is farming money. Yeah. Unfortunately, JD's glitches have been quite expensive, and they are now without much money. They are going... Are they gonna upgrade their bomb capacity, maybe? Yes. They're going into the ferry. At the Pond of Happiness. And we are now happy with 20 bombs. Gabriel just used a fake flute from basically the same area where he just was. Didn't really see how he got there. So yeah, this is his check of Hype Cave. Unfortunately, not going to pan out. We've seen neither runner use much of the link state. Which makes sense because it takes a while to clear anything else in the Dark World. Oh yeah, that's the gold sword for Gabriel. He won't find the tempered, he won't find the additional sword, but he does have max swords. Okay, JD is going into Ganon's tower. We pretty much know that Ice Rod is not going to be in GT, but maybe they'll get a check that Gabriel didn't? I don't know if that's going to happen. So what's next? Pod is interesting. Where could this take us? Gabriel's already defeated Helma. What is going on here? It's been over 90 minutes. We don't usually take this long to find one of 2 ice rods. And the runners have really not been stumped or anything. They've been making steady progress. But sheesh, these are pretty tricky. Okay, yeah, JD's gonna check right side. Yeah, Gabriel could be going back to GT. Yeah, top of GT sounds like the answer. I have heard that in this tournament, in the first week, I believe 2 days ago, we had an ice rod and fire rod in each chest of mini Helmasaur room. If I understand correctly. Maybe there will be 2 ice rods there today. Yeah, so we're seeing another turtle power from Gabriel. So that's a quadrant glitch, and maybe he'll transition to Hookshot Cave. Oh, Hookshot Cave, that is open. Forgot about that one. Buyer suggestion of top of GT. I'm not immediately sure of how of what the fastest way to top of GT is. Oh, flippers are here. That's interesting. Yeah, swamp is not fully cleared yet, so I mean, I wouldn't think that flippers would give Gabriel an incentive to go to swamp as his next play, but I mean, could make it easier. Oh, Gabriel's going back into T-Rock. This could be interesting because, well, he missed the front of T-Rock for one, and also T-Rock is next to swamp. So this could potentially clear out a bunch of chests. Gabriel also, by the way, has the opportunity to use Stairmaster, which would take him to the top of GT. So there's going to be an ice rod somewhere, but will Gabriel go the correct way to find one? So he'll start with front of T-Rock. Okay, so JD's setting a stuck hook, having no hammer to get to left side. And so this is a pretty tricky release, but what we can see here, if you look closely, JD is not placing the bombs on the block or on a wall. And that's deliberate because for some reason it's hard to release the trick won't work if bombs are stuck in the wall. Okay, so Gabriel is setting up an STC that will allow him to skip the roller room or the torch room. So he'll check roller room next. Oh, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure that what I said is correct, although there's a 1% chance that I'm wrong. I don't think you want to have bombs on a block while releasing a hook push. There's actually always a huge % chance that I'm wrong. It's just that I'm 99% confident that I'm right. Oh, here we go. All right, so JD is climbing GT. It'll be interesting to see if they take any shortcuts. Oh, JD ended the play. Oh, I didn't see that. Did they get an ice rod out of it? Oh, they're turning in green pendant. It's a blue rupee. I was so excited. That's too bad. Like I said, there are so few checks left in the game, and they're all right next to Turtle Rock. But there's also Dark World Overworld, so that's a thing. Wait, Gabriel's just gonna check pedestal, a dark compass. Great. Okay, JD is doing something. Here we go. They're gonna skip the rest of the climb by pushing north. This will take them to past Moldorm, which is not gonna be the end of the trick, because here they're locked in this position without the use of glitches. What they need to do now is teleport. And of course, once they teleport, they still can't get back to the 3 top level chests without the use of a bomb jump. So first, JD is going to go for a clip. Oh, this is interesting to use a dash, because they need to do an upward teleport. And there it is. Rightward movement takes them 8 pixels left instead of 9 pixels. All right, this is big. New info for both runners. It's very possible that JD finds an ice rod before Gabriel and still has more work to do to complete the game. But we'll probably find the answer. Oh, it's not here. We'll probably find the answer in the next few minutes. It's not in the map chest of Swamp. So JD, yeah, another trick is needed. Simply a bomb jump. Oh, they must have been 1 pixel off. All right, let's go again. So where did JD start this? From lower GT. So they are using their GT keys to get through here. So it's nice to have keys sometimes, and this is one of those cases. All right, take 2. Compass. Compass in the compass chest. Of course, it's for Ganon's tower. But this is a little tricky. Throwing that bomb doesn't always work. Okay, there's Moon Pearl at pre-Moldorm 2 chest. That's quite interesting. That could, if it's not here, it could take JD into the overworld of Dark World. It's here! Let's go! Alright, JD's got Ice Rod. They need to be Agatu, and now is the time to do it. I am not sure I agree, but they're here. Why not just do it? It's gonna make things simpler. A lot of the time we see runners go to Agatu after T-Rock, but they usually have a cane to do that, and JD doesn't have that, so I think that makes this the right play in the end. Oh, that's a thing. Flippers is a big deal. Okay. So Byra reminds us that JD misses the flippers. So, oh my gosh. They've missed flippers and cane, which is quite unfortunate because they now have to deal with the flipperless swamp. And that is a real pain. So, as they... Yeah. So they're going to think about how to deal with Swamp Palace. It could be an Aga tower climb. Oh, nice Clipe. Way to go, saving some seconds there. It could be fake flippers, which is tricky because you have to clip a wall. And that's called fake clippers. So yeah, not sure what JD's plan will be. I wonder if they'll do T-Rock before they do Swamp. Because then, you know, checking Trinex might mean flippers or cane. Or is JD not in go mode? That's another possibility. But I think they are. I think I've been saying Ice Rod's the only thing our runners are looking for. There's always more stuff that's gonna help get us through the seed. And there may be a key to the seed that I'm not realizing. Yeah, JD will go to T-Rock. Yeah, so we are getting new music thanks to having Moon Pearl. Wow, Gabriel's going for turtle power again. I've never seen so much turtle power. Oh, this is a good opportunity for JD to check Hookshot Cave. Yeah. So certainly not 100% go mode without having flippers or cane. How lucky is that? Now that is 100% go mode. They are not going to check any remaining chests. The last remaining chest in the cave. So that's cool. Does that mean... Yes, it does. It means we can teleport while blocking the Lionel. That rules. But yeah, they're going to clip up and get to the back of T-Rock. Presumably with... That was not necessary, but it is less distracting. But yeah, they're gonna do a mirrorless mirror up, I suppose. There's a few different ways to pull this off. Very well done. Oh, this is good for Gabriel. Look at here. This is gonna be good for Gabriel if he can get... Okay, this is interesting. There's a couple of ways to do this. Gabriel is pushing east to upper GT. So getting into that lower position ensures that Link lands between these pegs. Personally, I tried to push higher to push into the northern room, and we typically need to go through this transition anyway. Okay, Gabriel will find Ice Rod here, so that'll be go mode. And now Gabriel needs to be Aga 2 and Trinex. JD's almost a Trinex, but then needs to go all the way through Swamp. So we have a close race. Gabriel might have an advantage here. So let's see how this goes. We've got a hook push. Well done, JD. And is it a gold sword? No, it's a tempered fight. So yeah, JD makes quick work of Trinex. Well, it's the first phase of Trinex. There's a juke you can do to get back to Hookshot Cave. That is good trivia. Thanks, Mr. Buyer. And it could be useful if going through a Dark World route where you check Hookshot Cave and Upper GT at the same time. So that's definitely worth practicing. Okay, Gabriel also going for a Clype, but Aga is in the way. They can't quite get in position in time. Okay, now JD is fluting away. It's time to deal with Swamp. That's the last remaining dungeon, and this seems wrong. JD is pulling the lever. It's right. It's not wrong. It seems wrong because they're not in Dark World, but that's not how they're getting into Swamp. They are going to go through Hera. So this is a long route. JD needs to go all the way. Oh, high five. JD needs to go all the way through Hera to the Swamp entrance, then return to Hera to dupe the prize. JD does not have to go all the way to Argus, since they have already defeated it. So that's a long way. Gabriel needs to go to Laser Bridge and go to Trinex, and then be Aga 2. Wait a second. What do they need to do? I don't know. I don't know for sure. But it's not as far as JD needs to go. So I have a feeling Gabriel will get to Ganon first. And Trinex is down for Gabriel. And JD is not far from their goal. They're already to the point where they need to use a YBA. So they just need to get into position and YBA it. And they get it. And there we go. A YBA into Hera. They just need to pick up the prize. So wow, this is close. I was potentially wrong here. Because doesn't Gabriel need to be Aga 2? Or did he already do it? Because he's going back into the Dark World. No, he already did it. He needs to beat Ganon. So this is sort of an interesting place to get to the Dark World. It's not bad. Maybe it's the best. Yeah, he's just rushing to Ganon. Both players just need to rush to Ganon now. So JD might use this portal. They're on the same screen. Actually insane. And they're both basically going the same way. They both need to descend. And then they need to moat clip. Right? Yeah, we're going to clip the moat. And it'll screen wrap Link. So the fall into the pyramid is very particular. And they need to be careful not to fall into Houlihan Room. Wow, Gabriel's just barely ahead. Now, this is gonna come down to warps, actually. But no, it's not. That's something you say in an NMG race. because warps are seeded in this. So it's gonna actually come down to gain and execution. Yeah, Gabriel has Gold Sword, and JD does not get the 1-on-1 with Tempered. So that's gonna be... Oh, wait! JD has Silver Arrows, so if they stay alive, this could be a big deal. And they're both into phase 3. Oh my gosh, my heart is racing. Okay. Oh wait, they both have silvers. Never mind. Okay, well JD still needs to get this last hit. I mean, Gabriel's... I don't know who I said. Okay, Ganon is down for Gabriel. So close. What a race. Whew. Yeah, it's essentially a fanfare snipe, almost. Any race, like, within 5 minutes is pretty close in no logic. But this is within a minute. Such a close race. GG to both runners. And wow, I'm speechless. And there's some post-race chatter. I blame Phoenix for this seed. Shout outs to Phoenix for hosting this on SpeedGaming and rolling the seed. Both runners had very different experiences. That was exciting. And that was much closer than I thought it would be. I need to do something. Someone needs to do something. I don't know if they received invites. Yes. Gabriel has been marked as winner, so thank you, Mr. Buyer. And did we mark them as finished? Gabriel will go quickly to the Brazilian restream. Wow. Does that mean there's a separate interview? Okay. And the compass sleeps again forever. So what is the item count going to look like? Who has checked more items? Could it be a 175 for JD, 180 for Gabriel? Could it be 185, 190? Or are we in the 60s? Okay, 57. 157 for JD. 191 for Gabriel. Wow. It's both lower and higher than my guess. That's crazy. Well, that's the end of the race, and we'll see if anyone is joining us for an interview. So they are accepting an interview. We'll see JD in a minute. Please stand by.
Dining benefits at over 10,000 Resi restaurants. And unique experiences. It's nothing but I'm seeing the sun in.
Hello?
Hello, JD. GG's on the race. What a close race.
Man, I'm so upset. I know I threw it on Ganon. Like the pressure just got to me. I normally have a consistent 1-1 with Tempered, but like my hand was shaking, and also my D-pad gives me like weird phantom diagonals if you're not like executing like perfectly. Like I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the race, I like bonked the table in the old man cave. Like
Did
that's
see, yeah.
because of my D-pad. Like I have to be very
Oh my gosh.
like cardinals. Like to make sure that doesn't happen, but
you got through a lot in 2 hours, considering everything. You showed off the spin YBA death hole in desert. That was really cool to see in a race.
yeah, I was thinking about it because I wanted to get the waterfall check in Swamp, but I don't think you can backtrack to fight the boss if you do that.
Yeah.
Isn't the door okay? So I wanted to check the items first, and then I went back and I was thinking like it's just kind of slow to set that up, but I was thinking that it's 2 YBAs instead of 3 to get to the boss, so I decided to just go for that one instead.
Yeah, like you said in post-race chat, it was expensive, so you had to do a lot of YBAs, and you were simply less fortunate in your routing because Gabriel had this incredible route that allowed him to pick up Hammer followed by Samaria. That
Oh,
is,
was it in the castle?
it was big key chest of Turtle Rock Hammer. Apparently, I missed it actually. But then the Samaria was in Thieves Town Big Chest.
Oh
So
no, that is
that
so
is,
gross.
Yeah.
I was never getting that, like
you were never
literally
getting that.
never.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that
for
feels
you to,
so bad. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's just it didn't work out for you in that case, but you were able to do so much without Samaria. And welcome in, congrats, Gabriel, on your win.
Thank you.
And yeah, how fortunate was that? That your route allowed you to get a hammer followed by Samaria.
Yeah. It was funny because we, me and PID are playing practically every day, and I know he usually don't go to Turtle Rock early. So when I found that Henry, okay, I will go to Ice because I have Henry. I will go to Chief's Town because I have Henry. I can do the big chest. And well, I've got hook shot and Samaria very early.
Yeah, having hammer probably pushed you to Ice Palace early. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So having that hook shot saved you a bit of time too. We saw something that kind of lost you a little bit of time, but was really awesome to see, which was the dupe of the sword.
She's dead.
Yeah. So I did not expect to spin YBA that took you to Uncle. That was pretty odd, but it duped that sword, so you're able to go back and get it.
Oh, which sword? The Thieves Town attic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought about that right away, and I wish I hadn't because it just wasted time. I was like, no way. Like there's not enough information to like
Yeah.
even think about go moding yet.
Yeah, I was trying to talk us all through that, and I didn't think of a way to do that. So it was interesting to see that you didn't go for that. So that did save you time in the end, since obviously it turned into a rod hunt instead, where Master and Tempered were not a concern in the end. Pretty cool to see that a bunch of interesting things happen in Desert in the Seed.
Congrats on the win, Gabriel.
So thank.
Yeah,
so my hand was shaking during Ganon. Like I couldn't believe you were not done yet.
It was so exciting because you entered Ganon at the same second, basically. Gabriel entering like a second ahead from my point of view. Yeah. Obviously, you had different routes. Gabriel had Samaria, so like Swamp was a non-issue, but JD had to like scramble and eventually found flippers, which was pretty fortunate. It definitely gave you a fighting chance, but just getting through Hera to Swamp was just, it felt like it would take too long, where Gabriel just needed to go to Trinex. But then it ended up being so close. I was just surprised.
Yeah, I was thinking like because it was so late. I don't remember like what time it was when I got the ice rod. I got the ice rod and the moon pearl. And I fought Agatu, and like I was like, all right, I think we need to just go. It was like, well, I'm standing next to an item, so I looked at the pyramid, and I was like, well, I haven't had a chance to go back to Hookshot Cave, and that's 3 like very quick items. So I was like, I'm gonna check Hookshot Cave, and that's it. And it happened to be the flippers. Like,
Yeah.
if it wasn't like there, I was gonna go back and try to do the clippers because I've done it before in the practice hack. I just really don't like doing it, so I don't usually do it in a race. But like it had taken like so long like to do the seed, and he wasn't done yet, so I was just like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
Was the second ice rod ever seen?
It was on Zora.
No way.
Freeze Ray Facade.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think
missed-
about that. Crazy.
So Gabriel, I ran out of bombs and I spent all my money on potions for YBA, so I had to go to the rock so I could afford bombs. So I could hook push the right side of GT, which was nothing, so then I hook pushed the top of GT. But I was broke, like you can see 55 rupees on my screen, like from how many YBAs I did in the seed.
Yeah, I've done some YBAs. I've tried, but I failed too much in YBAs. So when I found a hook shot, well, that was just a relief for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
really wanted to see that YBA to Turtle Rock front the compass chest, but that's okay.
so Chex, was Gabriel like much sooner to the hook shot? Because I had a feeling when I saw that.
Yeah.
I just had a feeling that like I was like, that's not good that that's there. Like I feel like that's just a bad
No.
spot for me.
Yeah, you're correct, and you know, Gabriel had hammer and yeah, so that pushed him to ice. Yeah. So he was there earlier.
If I like stopped like one, like if I didn't do like one garbage check, like I win this race, like any of the really slow ones. Like I did Meyer big key chest. The seed was so like outrageous, like
Right.
without doing the
Yeah, I think both of you did Meyer cutscene chests, GT,
Yeah,
tile room. So we don't know where that. Oh, never mind. We know that it was Zora, but it's just we don't see Zora a lot in No Logic.
things. There's some seeds I do it like when I think it makes sense to do it. Like if you don't have a bottle after desert, but you do have money, I think it's a good play. Like in a really stingy like seed, but like I feel the seed was like not totally dry. It was just like can do stuff, but nothing feels that great to do it. Like at least that's how it felt to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you
and I
had
did the statue drag with no mirror, which I normally never ever do unless I find out pod is a crystal. But I was like, well, maybe it's a crystal, and maybe I'll get lucky and find an item that will give me an idea to do something else. So, like, because I was just kept thinking, like, this was actually a pretty interesting seed. Like, usually, usually sword hunt or just like a straight rod hunt. But this was like, it was a rod hunt, but it wasn't like very other than the rod. I would say, like, you had to work for it. Like, at least that was what I thought of it.
for sure. You had a mold orm 2, a pre-mold orm 2 chest for Moon Pearl. You had, you know, no master sword for a long time. You had where was that mirror? Mirror was weird. That was on Pendant Armos Knights.
Yeah, yep.
So
I
I
saw the
actually meant to
pendant
ask you,
and just
Chex. Oh, sorry.
I saw the pendant and just mirror. I don't want to.
Oh, you left. It didn't get the pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that as well, but it's like, well, you never know. Maybe I should have left.
yeah,
With a
Yeah.
13-second difference, that would have made the difference.
So you mirrored right away. I didn't catch that. You mirrored right after you finding mirror.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I think I was like already standing like in the middle, so I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I might have been. I did think about it for a second, but then I was like, no, this is brain power I could be using to think about what I want to do next.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
Chucks, I wanted to ask you, 'cause I did a murder bomb on Helma, but I didn't have anything to like use it with because I forgot that you need like sword
No.
beams or like a hook
Did you
shot. Is
get
there any other way to do that?
Spin.
Spin. Oh, I forgot about that.
I was curious because I thought you got that miss slot, and I was like, oh no, did it dissipate? Yeah, you just needed to spin. But spinning is not easy on Helma.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Gabriel-
about conserving bombs because I put off like buying the bomb upgrade for so long until I like didn't even have any bombs at all.
Yeah. Gabriel was able to show off on Vidi, which was kind of cool. But JD, you were able to save time having silvers.
Yeah,
you're
that was
first
what
to bow
pushed me
and
to
TT.
do. that's what pushed me to do Meyer, because I had like 2 blues and 2 greens, because I was like, so if I drink a potion for
Yeah.
Cold Stare, I can use the Fire Rod, like, to not have to worry about having a crappy sword. But then I was like, Meyer just seems like better. It just, I don't know, it just felt better, but it was wrong in the long run, but still required at least.
Yeah. Yeah, there was just a lot that was wrong in the seed. Since our ice rods were so far out. Any other thoughts on the seed before we wrap up?
I don't know, I'm a little annoyed at myself with, like, I just feel like I'm not, like, I can't, like, de-rust. Like, I just feel like I'm not as good as I was, and it's frustrating, but like,
Yeah.
I tried really hard.
I mean, your seed looks strong from my perspective, although I haven't watched races all that closely. It's just a combination of fortune and the length of the seed. So I
Yeah.
think it was a strong performance, regardless.
Oh, yeah, I knew this was not going to be an easy match, because I mentored Gabriel and have helped him with a lot of stuff. Like, and I know he's like talks to other people and has seen Sakat's tutorials, but we talk about glitches like a lot on Discord. So like and he's like constantly doing like speed runs too. So like I know that Gabriel knows what he's doing. Like it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well fought race for sure. GG's both of you. It was really fun to watch. Like I said, an exciting race. So we'll call it here. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you for more No Logic. There is an in-progress race right now on SpeedGaming 3, but we'll see where SpeedGaming takes us. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one.